All right, we're going to go over some major UI updates. This is just going to be a pretty chill video. Grab yourself some coffee or some tea. We're going to go through this together, nice and slow. I'm not going to do any advanced editing so that you don't miss anything. So basically what I want to go through is what's changed on some of the right and the left side panels. Already you can kind of tell when I just click this text, the right panel looks different. You're missing some stuff that's up here in the left and right that used to be here. Over here on the left side panel, you see a little dash in between stuff. So what we're going to do is go through three main UI updates that I would consider to be pretty major if you haven't been paying attention, or maybe you were paying attention but actually kind of confused as to why things look a certain way. So we're going to go through each of these one by one. First up is going to be the right side panel that I just mentioned. So what we changed with the right side panel is essentially making things a lot more streamlined so that they can kind of accordion all in one place. And if you'll notice, as I click on each one of these elements, the right side panel stays looking the same. So now you don't have like a left and right toggle up here on the left and right to go back and forth between text and things like that. But what you will notice is that now there are these plus buttons, and I'm going to go through each one of these, one for a text, one for shape, one for the illustration, and one for an image, a static image, to show you what happens. So basically at any point, instead of trying to go over and pick through and toggle back and forth, I can simply just click a plus to add a transformation, a shading effect, a decoration, or a border to my text. So just one by one, if I click the plus button, what that's going to do is give me a border that I can then change the weight of, the border weight here. You see right there? Now, if I don't want it, you can see when I hover over remove border and I click the minus, it goes away. So make sure that you are very careful about what you want to add and or subtract. So again, if I want to add the border, I just click it. Now you'll notice it goes back to the default black. I'd have to go up here and change it again to whatever color I want. But what's cool about this, and I'm not going to go into this in this video because I just did a different video on the brand kits, which you can see over here in the left side panel. It is a major update, but I did a dedicated video to the brand kits that you can check out. Is if I want this border to be consistently called upon, essentially meaning I never forget it, what I can do is add it as a style. So what I can do is I can add this color style, this border style, to a kit. And again, if you're confused, go check out the video that I did detailing exactly what you need to know. I also go very slow and step by step on that one completely. I think it's like maybe 20 minutes or something. But anyway, what I'm trying to focus on in this video is the plus and minus. Okay, so let's say I don't want the border. I can just minus it. I can remove it. There it is. And then if I'm hovering over the plus, you can see it says add border. Okay, so transformation. If I click add transformation, it's going to give me one. Typically, it's going to give me one that I've used before. If you haven't used a transformation in the project already, it's just going to default to custom. But you can click any one of these, and they're going to go back to it's going to go back to its natural position, and you can still change all of this stuff back and forth. So this transformation, the transformation panel there, works exactly the same way as it did before. All we did was just put it in a little accordion, and if I don't want it, boom, I go back to minus. If I want it again, it goes, I can put it back on there, right? So plus is adding the transformation, minus is removing it. Same thing with text shading. So you can see all of the text shading is now nicely concise into one little panel. So that way I don't have to flip and toggle back and forth between different panels and stuff like that. Everything works the same. The output, the outline width, everything works the same. If you don't want it, like I said, boom, you can remove it. Same thing with the decoration. So if we want our little hatched lines or something like that, we can still change the weight and the distance. And yes, you can have all of these panels open at one time. So if you want text decoration and text shading, you can definitely do that. and you want a transformation, you can do that. And you want a border, you can do that. So that looks like a crazy piece of text. I apologize for how not good that looks. Or if I want to start taking them off one by one, there they go. I can just minus them all together like that. Now, same thing applies for shapes. You can see here it's a lot more limited. So on the text, I've got all these different panels I can open up. If I'm just talking about a shape, I've got the color up here, which I can subtract, which if I do that, it'll just take the whole block away. I can add my border. I can change my border to whatever I want, change the stroke here, and then I can also add a shadow and change the shadow color to whatever I want and mess with the offset and the blur and everything like that. And if at any point I don't want that, again, like I mentioned, you just hit the minus key, okay? If you want it on there, you leave it. You leave it on there. If you don't want it, you can hit that remove. Same thing with illustration, a vector illustration. Okay, we've categorized these a lot better, so now that you don't have to open an extra panel to see all of the different colors, now they're all just nicely contained into one little kind of drop down. And again, if I want to add a border, I can do so, and boom, I can add my border. If I want to add a shadow, I can do so if I want to. Maybe we make it a little bit more visually easy to see. And if at any point I don't want that, same thing, minus. And the same thing can happen with a illustration. The illustration is a little bit different because we have the photo filter category that becomes available when you're on a raster image or a static image. What I mean by that is it's not vector. If I click on this tiger, it's got all these colors, right? See all 8 colors. Got all these colors, right? Meaning I can change them. I can go in here and change this at any point if I want because it's vector. If I click on the static image, it is a super high resolution image, okay? But it's still a photo, so I can still manipulate it. So if I want to give it shadow, I can do that for sure. You can see shadow works the same way. I can take that off. But now I have the photo filter capability. And if I open that, right now nothing's applied, okay? Nothing's applied. But if I hit the plus and I start changing the brightness and stuff and the contrast and whatever, then this works exactly like the rest of the photo filters you see here. I can blur the image. I can make it a lot sharper, whatever. I can add noise to it, blah, blah, blah. And if at any point I'm like, I did no idea what I did. That was awful. I don't want to go back and set all of these to 0. I can just start from nothing. I can just remove it. Or if you've got stuff in a good place where you're like, man, I really like how this is looking. It's pretty cool. You can add that as a photo style. So like if you never want to forget these settings, maybe you're doing like a manga or you're doing, I don't know, something with anime. You never want to forget that style. I can add it by hitting the plus button, and then maybe I have a kit here that says manga style, or I can make it say that, and then I can add it to a style, and I can always recall it from over here in the brand kit. Again, go check out that video. It's a full tutorial on how that works. Let me go ahead and remove that one. So that's the right side panel. There's not much else you need to know because everything is the same. I know that some of these little dots can be confusing to some of you because you see the styles here and you might be tempted to click on that and then you're like, oh, well, here's my colors that I have to use. No, if you want to utilize the feature, you can simply click plus. And if you don't want to utilize the feature, you can click minus. You can also just click on the text. You see, I just clicked on the text there. I can click on the text here and it'll open it, okay? So you do not, under any circumstances, because the brand kit is an expert level feature. It is for our expert subscribers of Kittl, which is, by the way, it's going to save you so much time designing. You do not have to click those 4 little buttons. If you do and you don't have an expert subscription, it's going to ask you to subscribe to the higher one. You don't have to click that button. You don't have to do it. You can click this minus and take everything off. Okay, so I know there might have been a little bit of confusion there, but nothing is the same. When in doubt, if you're confused between the plus, dot, whatever, you can just click on the text, okay, and then all of your stuff opens up, okay. Same thing with the text. You're able to do all of the same thing. You can click on each of these texts, and they will open up. And if you don't want them, you can click the minus to remove any of them. Okay, so that's the right side panel. Okay, the AI panel change, or what I'm calling it a panel. It's essentially over here, right? So you see in the left side panel, you got some new words like brand kits, and then you have the image generator, which is now its own panel. I did do a video update on this, but what I wanted to show you is that inside of this, the turbo, which is the Gen 1 or the 1 credit per use, is now on the left side. You can toggle between them. And the point is that I want to show you the difference in style. So we have turbo, which is 1 credit per generation, and advanced, which is 2 credits per generation, but you have the ability to save different styles. You can see here I've been testing out some different styles. I did that in a video. You can see up here I tested a bunch of different styles to see what I could get. And you also have your aspect ratio and your vector styles and everything like that. So in the turbo, you don't have your aspect ratio. You do have vector styles. You are just a little bit limited in the amount of styles you have in turbo. They're still quite nice. But in advanced, you do have that aspect ratio control. You have that public-private mode toggle that you can switch on and off. You have the save styles that you can go up here and save. You can save up to 12 styles, or you can go in and you can delete them, things like that. And then clearly, as you can see, you have a lot more styles to choose from, including patterns over in the left side panel. So I won't take a bunch of time to just generate a bunch of stuff for you. I've got a bunch of videos for that on the channel. We're also working on some prompting videos to help you with that and get better generations and stuff like that. But I did want to mention that this has changed a little bit. So if you're confused on what in the world is turbo, or if you're like, how do I get access to advanced, that's been the change. Turbo is now the free, or the Gen 1, and advanced is our paid version 2. Both fantastic, both updated models. Turbo specifically is extremely fast. I did a full video on that. You can check that out here. That was a lot of fun because it was so fast to generate images in turbo. And if you're okay with taking that extra, 15-20 seconds to get a more higher caliber generation, then advanced is probably what you're going to want to use. And then the last thing I want to go through, the last major change, is the quick menu. It's actually called like a contextualization panel, or a contextualized menu, because in context of what you're doing, it pops up. And so what I mean by that, if I click this, you can see this menu right here. I'm going to call it the quick panel because I think that's easier for you all to understand, because it's quick, it's a panel, and it's right here. So you can see a different couple of options. You can see Kittl Copilot, which several videos will be coming out for that soon. You have the duplicate feature. Okay, so if I duplicate that, now the text has been duplicated. I have the delete feature, so I can just hit the trash can and it's gone. You can also hit Command Z to bring that back. And then you have the rest of the quick panel, or the right click menu, which is showing you that. So if I didn't have anything selected, I can still right click and it'll come up. Okay, that I just right clicked with my mouse. But if you don't want to do that, I guess you don't have a mouse that has a right click for whatever reason, you can hit more options. And then now you have all of your different stuff here. You can lock the element from right here, flip it, copy and paste. Same thing applies for the shape. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing for text, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I want to copy the shape, I can do that. If I want to delete the shape, I can do that. If I want to open up the other parts of that, I can hit the little 3 dots. Boom, I can do that. Okay. Same thing for illustration, 1, 2, 3, 4. The same kind of thing. Copilot's going to open up the Copilot so that you can ask it to help you do things like change color and stuff like that. Duplicate will duplicate the illustration. Trash can will delete it. And the dots will open up this. Now, where it gets different is, again, when I click on a static image. Whoa, we have so many more. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I already explained the Copilot. That'll be in a different video. We can duplicate. I've already showed you that. We can crop. So instead of having to double click in or go over and try to figure out in the right panel what to do, now you can just click crop, and that will open up the crop feature. And I don't know, maybe you just really don't want the bottom part of this for whatever reason. You can crop that, and then boom, there you go. You have a cropped image. I'm gonna Command Z. we have the eraser tool, okay, which is also, you can see there, the E key. So if I click on the eraser tool, now I can start erasing different parts of the image with the eraser tool. And then I can click done. That looks so weird. But yeah, so there you go. I did a full video on the eraser tool, or actually Graham did a full video on the eraser tool. You can figure that out up there in the cards somewhere. But you can access that by hitting E. I can hit the E key. There it is. I can also exit the eraser from here. I can also click done from here. I can delete. Okay, so I can just hit the delete, which you can also just do with hitting backspace. You don't have to do that. And then you can open up the more options. Now, as you can see here, because it is a image, you have a lot more options in the extended quick panel or the right-click menu panel. So you can see all of these right here. If I do it on this, if I click the more options here, you see how much smaller this panel is. But if I open up this, you can do so much stuff. You can save this as an image generation style. Okay, if you have the advanced AI, I can replace this. If I click replace, it's going to open up the panel for me to type in something like anime. I can replace this with any other option that I want, which I don't want. I can erase from here, so I can click the eraser, which will just open up the eraser. I can, let's see, flip it. I can crop it. I can use it as a background, which is going to look really weird because it's too big, or it's too small for that. It's not a horizontal image, so it didn't make sense. But you can do it. And then, yeah, forward, backward, all of that stuff. Okay, so those are the three major UI changes that I wanted to talk to you about, because I know there was some confusion specifically with how the right panel has changed. And so out of these three, I would say that's probably the most monumental one, is the right side panel UI, or user interface, meaning the way that you interface with the tool has changed. Which, by the way, I just forgot this until just now, you can now see the object size. I need to do a video just for this and change it. So if I wanted this to be, for whatever reason, 500 by 800, look at that. I can change it from right there, and I can see the image size, okay? Same thing with this. I can actually see the dimensions in pixels. And if I go up in here and I can change this to inches, units, inches, now it'll tell me. So this is going to be so helpful for literally 6 by 7 inches. This is going to help you so much in formulating your business stuff, like business cards or flyers, or your t-shirt design, so you know how long an element is or something like that. I should have added that. So technically you got 4 major UI updates, but the right side panel, the adding border and removing stuff, is the one that I wanted to show. So let me know what you think of these 4, or I guess these 3 major updates down in the comments. Let me know if you are having any issues with them. I'm happy to do more videos like this where it's just detailed. I'm going through it one by one. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, please. It helps us out a ton. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.